The Lai is from the ruling party and is currently the vice president. So let's take a look at his career, at the graph of his political career and how he's reached the position where he is.
Legislator, mayor, Taiwan's premier and current vice president. Lai Ching-te has held almost every senior political post in the island nation since he stepped into politics 3 decades ago. Still a shaping factor in his journey, it was China that first inspired Lai to enter politics. By 1996, when Taiwan held its first direct presidential election, Lai was already involved in the game, supporting DPP candidates. But when China lobbed missiles in a bid to sway the vote towards preferred candidates, he says he felt compelled to run for office himself. Lai chose southern city Tainan, where he worked as a doctor, to begin his political journey. Serving as the city's legislator in the years that followed, come 2010, he was elected as Tainan's mayor. He was re-elected in 2014 with nearly 73% of the votes. This was an unprecedented margin in the history of local elections in Taiwan. Given the level of support backing him, in 2017 he was appointed as the premier under President Tsai Ing-wen. But his tenure was not without controversy. Lai was also not very popular among young and female DPP supporters, resulting in his loss to Tsai for the 2020 presidential candidacy. Lai was then invited to be Tsai's running mate and has been the vice president ever since. His popularity has only risen during his tenure. He has promised to stick to Tsai's approach on the island's thorniest issue, its independence. A few years ago, Lai made headlines when he said that he is a politician who supports Taiwanese independence and would never change this stance, no matter what office he holds. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
All right, so that, of course, was the career graph of the president-elect. And what you're looking at this moment are live images that are being beamed straight from Taipei. This is, of course, the big moment where Lai Ching-te, the man who will be the next president, the one who's at the center of your screens there, who's ushered in a historic 3rd term in power for the pro-sovereignty Democratic Progressive Party, in a result that will anger Beijing and probably, perhaps, even heighten tensions across the Taiwan Strait. This is a big moment. Remember, in Taiwanese politics, this is a validation by the people of Taiwan for the policies of Tsai Ing-wen and also for the promises that Lai Ching-te has made during the campaign trail. Now, these are images of the party members where the party leaders are, of course, engaging and interacting with the party workers, and the celebrations, we can be sure, will continue through the night. But the big question is this: what will happen now with respect to the relationship between Taipei and Beijing? Will it get better? Will it worsen? Will it get more frigid? Because remember, China, which has been the bugbear in this entire election, China which had been making so many statements before the election happened, since the election results have come out, has gone completely quiet. We expect China would, of course, say something perhaps in the next few days, but it remains to be seen as to how Beijing views the election of Lai Ching-te as the next president in Taipei. And Dimitri Bryce of TVBS is still with us live from Taipei. Bryce, we at this moment have the images of the DPP leaders and the party workers who are celebrating at this moment in Taipei. I'm pretty sure as these images are watched across Taiwan, the Kuomintang party, the party that has lost the election again will be looking at these images and will be doing a bit of soul searching. It was Kuomintang, which of course, in the aftermath of the Civil War, which ended in 1948-49, which came to the island of Taiwan and set up this autonomous governed system. How would the Kuomintang party be looking at these election results where they've ended up on the losing side 3 times on the trot? Dimitri Price, if you can hear me, I know it's a bit pretty loud and noisy in the place where you are.
I can hear you.
Yeah, the question that I was asking you was, the Kuomintang party that has been in the opposition for the last 2 terms, it has ended up, in the second position again. The Kuomintang party, how do you think they'd be looking at this election loss yet again for them?
Well, soul searching has started. The chairman has already resigned. Eric Zhu resigned just after the election team, they acknowledged their defeat in the election. Now, soul searching has started, and there are many questions that voters, I think, will be asking the party. Do you know, like in many political parties, you have the diehard support of the party, and then you have those who are maybe more willing to compromise and discuss with other opposition parties. No, I don't know if you remember, prior to the election in late November, the election parties, namely the KMT candidate Hou Yu-ih and the DPP candidate Ko Wen-je, tried and discussed for weeks, trying to form a coalition and create a joint ticket to join the election. It failed. Eventually, it failed, and because of that failure, today both parties, the DPP is still in power. It's an historic win for the DPP actually, because this is the first time since 1996 that a political party remains in power for a 3rd term. Now, usually after 2 terms, we usually have a switch. We have a rotation of parties, and this will be the first time that a political party, the DPP, namely, will be in power for 3 terms and maybe even 4 terms. So the DPP, it's not for the opposition parties, both the KMT and DPP, it's really not a good news.
Absolutely. We're completely out of time. Thank you very much indeed, Dimitri Price, for joining us from Taipei and getting us all those updates. This, of course, is a big moment in Taiwan. The DPP has come in again into power for the 3rd straight term on the trot. It is unprecedented. It has not happened in the history of Taiwan. But this, of course, is an election that, of course, will have implications far beyond the borders of Taiwan, and we'll continue tracking this on WION. And with that, it's also a wrap on this edition. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.